Welcome to the Hands of Time Year in Review. This is Big John Silva.
Pauly the Bull.
And this year we're going to talk about movies, top movies of the year. So what you got?
So, movie-wise, one, I didn't get a chance to go to the movies as much as I wanted to this year. Two, the movies I did see weren't that great. To me, you know what I'm saying? You much bigger movie buff than I am. I just enjoy what I enjoy. Obviously, we didn't get a lot of Marvel movies, you know what I'm saying? That didn't help, you know what I'm saying? But, so again, I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I got some, you know, streaming series is counted on my list.
Oh, so we're doing TV shows.
I mean, listen, it counts. If we talked about it on Grey Pendant, which you can watch on, you know, 2021Vision.com, if we talked about it on there, damn it counts. All right? But I'm gonna start with my honorable mentions. One that was wavered back and forth a little bit, Trap. I liked it. I liked it mainly because, and I actually did go to the theater to see it, and the crowd in the theater was rooting for the villain. And it was like somehow they found a way to, you know, you're like, damn, how's he gonna escape this one? How's he gonna escape this trap? How's he gonna escape, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, the name's Trap, so I figured that's the point of it, you know what I'm saying? Plus it was also a big commercial for M. Night Shyamalan's daughter's music.
Huge commercial for that.
You know what I mean? This is the year of nepotism. Like I said, somehow, some way, everyone that was in the theater was like engaged and like caught up in, okay, they got him now. Damn, he got away. Oh shit, he got him. Oh, he got away. You know, it was like he kept finding ways to evade the police all the way to the end. Spoiler alert. So it was like it kept people interested. You know what I'm saying? Not a great movie, not a perfect movie, but I just thought it was, especially the first time you watch it. You know what I'm saying? I was engaged. I was caught up in it. Another one I got on my honorable mention list, A Quiet Place Day One. It was a different take on the Quiet Place, you know, movies. Yeah. It was interesting to see basically Lupita Nyong'o's character, you know, basically is dying, but she had like one last wish to get some pizza, go back to an old neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? It was like, I don't want to die yet, I just want to, you know, go do this. And all of a sudden, all these aliens come from out of nowhere, craziness happens, and she's like, I just want to go here though. So I think it was just a cool take, saw them build a relationship, a partnership, a friendship. It was an emotional movie. I thought it still had some emotion, even with less dialogue. You know, we still got the point of a bond, a relationship that was made through this chaotic event and stuff. So I thought it was cool. Also have Bad Boys Ride or Die. I'm one that kept saying, yo, in the series, even when they made the last one, Bad Boys for Life, I'm like, dude, the last movie was 30 years ago. We don't need this. But they keep making pretty good movies. You know, like the movies keep being pretty good. It's like, you know, and it's like, again, this wasn't great, but I was interested. It was fun. I liked the way that they flipped the character dynamic. Martin's character became more loose and almost died, so he became more carefree. Will Smith's character got married, so he felt he had more of someone to protect now. So they kind of flipped their, you know, traditional roles from the previous movies. So I thought that was a cool, you know, flip to the movie, not to keep it the same and get stale. They kind of put a little twist to it. And shout out to Martin's son-in-law. I forget his name right now, but that scene where he went crazy in the house and the robbers came in and he straight up had his video game moment, which shout out to people that don't like men that play video games. Him playing Call of Duty, he saved them. Well, he was also a Marine too, but still. Call of Duty. The training he had from hours and hours of Call of Duty is what saved the family, all right? Keep that in mind. But yeah, I thought that scene alone stole the show. Reggie, that's his name.
Reggie, yes.
Reggie, shout out to that Reggie scene. If you've seen it, you know. That's on my honorable mention list. Oh, also Fight Night, the series that was on Peacock. Black Excellence, Kevin Hart, Samuel Jackson, Don Cheadle, Taraji P. Henson, Terrence Howard, even more names. You see it. Debbie Allen had a cameo in it. Just black excellence all around. And it was a pretty good show. I'm not, just not because it's black people, but the story was cool. It was based on a true story of a fight night down in Atlanta. Muhammad Ali had I think it was his first fight after being in jail. He had a fight in Atlanta, and there was a party thrown for him and some other big, black gangsters and stuff. And the party got robbed. And it's the story and the events that took place before and after that situation, loosely based on the actual event. So they changed a few things, but cool story, something I didn't know about. And it's also kind of like the beginning of like a lot of Atlanta heritage and things. So pretty good, black history story to tell. And you got, like I said, you got some of the greatest actors in the world in it, and they all killed their parts. Like, definitely good job with that. But my list is all over the place, not just movies. What you gonna do about it? It's my show. Number 5 on my list, X-Men 97. That's right, I said it. X-Men 97. It's a cartoon, not a movie. 8 episodes, not a movie, but it's on my list. Deal with it. Great that they brought it back. Again, 1997, 96 was the last year. 97, we got it back. Continue where they left off. A few things with the producer of the show kind of, took it to levels that they didn't expect. But the characters were still, to what we love. It was a piece of nostalgia. Knock on my microphone. A piece of nostalgia for us, for the childhood. The original cartoon is what made me a comic book fan. I actually, picked up on the cartoon before I actually got into the comic books and collecting the comic book cards and things. The cartoon was what got me, made me a big Wolverine fan. I was a little upset that Wolverine wasn't as big in the cartoon as he should be. They didn't really, Cyclops was the leader and it was all, about him and Jean. Shut up, Otto. But I did enjoy seeing everybody back in it, so I definitely enjoyed X-Men 97. One episode was a little that Jubilee episode was half the episode was like but the rest of it, good money. Looking forward to season 2, even though they're gonna tweak some things because of that producer who's sure remain nameless. But we'll see what they do. Number 4 on my list, comic book as well, comic book movie, Deadpool and Wolverine. Highest grossing R-rated movie of all time or something like that. Record breaking.
On your list. The Wolverine has Deadpool and Wolverine as 4?
Yes.
Okay.
And again, I went back and forth. I was like, should it be higher? Should it not be higher? Again, it was the only Marvel movie we got this year. It was, I think, like I said, it was great. It was fanfare. We still got the member berries and nostalgia. We had some cameos. We can spoil it by now. Gambit was in there. Blade, Wesley Snipes' Blade was in there. Like, we got some.
The only Blade.
You don't count Sticky Fingers?
No, Sticky Fingers not count.
Okay.
I remember that show. Sticky Fingers not count.
He was Blade though. But I enjoyed Deadpool Wolverine definitely for what it was. I have not gone back to watch it. It's streaming on Disney Plus yet. I do want to watch it again and see if it holds up or if I feel it's better or worse second time around. But I did enjoy it. I'm not saying I didn't enjoy it. The hype of it was like, okay. You know what I'm saying? But it was still good. It's still fun. The story still made sense. They tweaked some things that they originally was planned, I heard, but still enjoyed it. Number 3, back to the streaming services, but still sticking with Marvel. Sue me, I don't care. Agatha All Along. Enjoyed the storyline. Didn't know where it was going. And again, as a comic book fan for all these years, we kind of know the comic stories. I don't know much about Agatha, so I enjoy learning more. And, Wanda's son and that whole storyline that I heard they took pieces from and made one new story. I enjoyed it. And I thought it was very well written. I thought they actually took their time with this because we know the Disney Plus shows are hit or miss. The Star Wars, the Marvel shows. Whew. This one I felt all the way through was very good. I looked forward to every week watching it. The finale was definitely, justifying and made me want to know what's going to happen next. I thought the episode where they did the witch that had like the memory jumping and she pieced it all together. I thought that episode was well done. Like that episode, I watched that probably 3 times just because I thought it was done great and seeing how it all tied together, I was like, that was dope. Like, again, the writers on that bodied it. The costume design bodied it. The twists at the end and all that stuff, I thought it was all very, very well done. Number 2 on my list, sticking with the streaming series is The Penguin. More dramatic than than Agatha, I should say. Again, thought it was very well written, very well done. We went back and forth from rooting for the villain to hating the villain to rooting for the villain to hating the villain to rooting for the villain to saying, he's not as bad as. Oh God, he killed him. I can't stand this guy. I thought that was well done. And as someone that did not like the Batman movie as much as a lot of people did, I'm looking forward to the sequel because of the Penguin. And now that I hate him, Batman, get him. Okay. He killed his man. Like, get him.
I still haven't seen Penguin.
You still haven't seen Penguin. No. Spoiler alert.
I know what the spoiler is. I'm not worried about it, but I still haven't seen Penguin. I've had the time to sit down and watch the series, but I've heard amazing things about it.
No, it's definitely worth watching. Like I said, very, very well done. I just ruined it for you. But yeah, like I said, I'm looking forward to the sequel of the Batman now, just because I want Batman to get him. It's like, hey, get this bad guy. He's bad. Go get him. And my number 1, not as good as the original, Inside Out 2.
Okay.
I still thought it was the best movie of the year, of the movies I've seen, I should say. To me, I thought, again, I just like that concept, the Inside Out concept, showing, how our body work, based on these little people in there with jobs and things. I think it's a cool concept, and I think this one, with her going through puberty and, the teenage, the new feelings came in and kind of took over. I thought that was well done. Again, not as good as the original, but doesn't need to be. Continue the story, and I still thought it was great. And so, like I said, for me, wasn't a lot of movies that came out this year that was great, but I thought that one was very well done. It had the highs, the lows, the jokes, the comedy, the emotions. I think it had everything, and I liked it, and I loved it.
Maybe Disney list.
Yeah, and I'm not on their payroll. It's just they cornered the market. I mean, what can I say? But what's on your list? Who you got?
So, I'll start with my disappointments.
Okay.
I'm gonna start first, and I'm gonna do it. This time I'm doing order of how disappointed I was.
Okay.
So, the first one was Furiosa.
Okay.
I loved Mad Max.
Right.
I love the way it was shot, the way it was done. This looked like it was shot similar. Like I was like, and I didn't enjoy it. Like it wasn't a bad movie, but it wasn't a great movie. It wasn't an honorable mention movie. It was just like, it came and went. And I've rewatched Mad Max a bunch of times. I watched it again. Fury Road, I watched it in black when it came on the platinum, the chrome edition. I watched it in black and white. It looked beautiful. This one I've never watched it again. I never cared.
Right.
I was just disappointed because I was really hyped for this movie. Then it shouldn't be a disappointment because I should have had expectations to know it was gonna suck. Venom 3.
I haven't even seen it yet.
The thing, this is the problem, is that I'm a Venom fan. I got it
Same.
tattooed on my arm. Like I'm a Venom fan. So I'm not as bothered by the first movie,
Right.
the first 3 movies. Well, all 3 movies by other people because we read the comics. They do stick true to the comics because he wasn't that well written in the first place when it first started. So it's not terrible, but the movie itself was just so bad. It was just like there was nothing that was entertaining about it. There was nothing that was like, oh man, this keeps me hyped. It keeps me like it was just disappointing. And then my last one is Joker 2. Going into it knowing it was a musical didn't bother me. The way they went about it, and then the way they made it was like, oh, it actually doesn't matter, and it's like it just made it where it was like, so I just wasted 2 hours of my life that I'm never gonna get back.
Yep.
And for nothing, like it didn't. There was no great scenes, no great memorable things, no anything no quotables like the first movie had. Like it was, just nothing was there, and I was like, between loving the director and loving Joaquin Phoenix, I expected something glorious out of this. And
now, let me ask you real quick, because I think this conversation like online. Do you think he just made a sequel, cash grab? They forced him to make another one, and he just said, "Okay, here's some BS."
I've seen that. I don't know enough about the director to say yes.
Okay.
But I don't think Joaquin Phoenix did that to his own legacy. I think Joaquin Phoenix thought he was doing something big.
Okay.
Because he has that, like the movies he picks purposely to do these kind of movies. with his legacy. So I don't think he would do it as a cash grab.
Got it.
But yeah, I was like, you had to have read the script and be like, you know what?
Right.
No.
Right.
Change this up.
Right.
Now onto my honorable mentions. I have, I'm going to start with Speak No Evil.
Okay.
So if you've never seen the original, Speak No Evil was actually really good. And it could have been in my top 5, or like it's definitely a really good thriller. If you've never seen the original European one, then it could definitely be in your top 5. Like, because I seen the original is just way, way better.
Got
and
it.
it didn't need this American remake that was rushed so fast.
Which usually happens.
You know, that's the only thing that made me not put it so high on my list, because it was good. I love it. James McAvoy did his thing like he always does. But the original is just way better. But Speak No Evil, it's streaming now. Like, I think it's on Prime or somewhere for free. So Peacock, one of those things. So that's why I checked it out. It's definitely worth it. I got Gladiator 2.
Okay. I still haven't seen it yet.
So it didn't need to be made at all.
Right. That's how I felt. Yeah.
But if it wasn't a sequel to Gladiator and it was just a Gladiator film, it was a really good fucking film. It was dope. It kept you entertained. It kept it going. Denzel stole the show, which, I mean, he's Denzel, so I guess that makes sense. But it was a good film overall. It just didn't need to be made. Like, you left the theater saying it was good, but there was no need for it.
Right.
There was no need for it as Gladiator 2. Gladiator 1 is a masterpiece. It has to be touched. And then almost made it my top 5, but I couldn't do it because the story telling wasn't as great. Terrifier 3. I know you're not a horror person. I love horror. Terrifier is phenomenal. I love how far Art the Clown and the Terrifier series have gone, because I've been a fan since the beginning.
Right.
I remember going to the movies to watch it and no one being in the theater because it wasn't popular yet.
Right.
So
I was gonna say the fan base
grew. It definitely grew to the point where it's like it's crazy now. But it was a good film. It was gory as fuck if you like gory horror. It just story wise, to me it wasn't as good as the second one. So it took some points off of that. So honorable mention, not in my top 5. So a surprising one on my top 5 is Transformers 1.
I still refuse to watch it.
I don't like Transformers. I've never been a fan of Transformers.
Really? Not even the cartoon?
I didn't grow up with the cartoon. Came off of air just as I was growing up to watch cartoons.
Gotcha.
So I never got to watch the cartoons. So when I watched them as kind of an adult, when they re-released them at Best Buy when they came out, that's when I was like, everyone was crazy about it. It was sold out. So I was like, oh, I need one.
Right.
So I bought one and I was like, it's all right.
Okay.
The movie itself, like, I liked the first one, but it wasn't blown away. The second one was okay, and then I never cared for the rest of them. So I just never been a Transformers. Even the toys, I didn't care about Transformer toys.
Gotcha.
Like, it wasn't my thing. So my son really wanted to watch Transformers 1, and he was like, "Oh, let's go watch it." Like, he wanted to go watch it. He was like, "Please, please, please, can we watch it?" And I was like, "Fine, we'll go to the movies. We'll watch it." And we went to watch it, and I enjoyed the fuck out of that movie. Like, I really enjoyed that movie. I thought it was a good movie overall. It made me, and it's the prequel to tell you how they all started. Yeah. And I was like, it made me actually like, you know what? Maybe I should get more into Transformers.
But they changed the story. That's why.
Listen, don't mess up my
that's why I don't want to watch it, because that's
right?
not the original. They weren't friends at one point. They was already two different races off the rip. There was no we were cool, but then we got picked to be Autobots and stuff. No, you're born into that. It's gang life. You born into it.
In my world, they were friends.
No,
right?
They weren't friends.
I don't know enough about Transformers, so in my world, this is my history lesson.
I'm gonna watch it one day, but when I heard
it's streaming on Paramount.
Yeah, I just don't like the fact that they made them friends. And it's like, no, they were never friends.
But so
enemies.
I got Transformers 1. I really enjoyed it. I was actually surprised how much I enjoyed that movie.
Right.
Then I got Heretic, which I really enjoyed. A24 film. I don't know why his name, Hugh Grant. Good film overall. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the fuck out of the movie. I love the way they did with it. I always love A24 projects. Then I got Inside Out 2. Number 3 for me.
Okay.
I thought it was really good. I loved the way they did explain the new personalities, all that stuff. Like, I really enjoyed it. I like it better than the first one.
Okay.
I think Anxiety brought a lot to the mix, and it made it a lot more realistic. Where like, not realistic because it's all realistic.
Yeah.
Like, the way they did it, they did phenomenal. But it made it more where it was like, oh, you know what? I get this even more because my emotions as a preteen to teen were way crazier.
Right.
And so I loved what they did with it overall. But Inside Out 2, fucking phenomenal, great film. Then I got The Substance, another horror movie. Okay. I loved it. It was something that I never even heard of. And I got put onto it, and I was like, you know what? I'll check it out. Looks cool. And I went and watching it, and it's phenomenal. It's kind of like I don't want to put it in that genre, but kind of like not a bash on the beauty industry, but it's kind of like where where people are obsessed with their looks and beauty so much now, and it's one of those things like, what would you do? How far would you go to stay young and keep that beauty?
Okay.
So I love that about it. And then my number one was actually Deadpool Wolverine.
Okay, you had it number
I
one.
don't know if it was because of the Marvel drought of good films, or the fact that I love the Deadpool movies in general,
Right.
or the fact that I got to see Hugh Jackman as Wolverine again. All those things together probably makes it where it's at. But I've actually seen it. I rewatched it a bunch of times as background noise on Disney Plus.
Okay.
And I wind up not doing whatever I'm doing. Like I'm reading, I'm trying to read this, I'm trying to read that, and I'm like, I'm watching this instead. So I've actually rewatched it a bunch of times. I've loved it each time. I still laugh at some of the things. It's still just as funny. I even catch more one-liners that I didn't catch before. So I'm loving it. I love their chemistry together. Overall, I thought it was a good film, good Marvel film, and I dare argue that Deadpool might be one of the better Marvel trilogies. Out of all the trilogies out there, not the best, but one of the better ones.
I mean, Captain America's still the best, but it's a cheat code because it's a cheat code.
We can't do this now because it's a year review. But my problem with Captain America is the first one is not that great.
It is.
It's not that great. The first,
How is it not?
Iron Man 1 is a better first film in my opinion.
Okay, but then from 2 and 3,
but
it's
then
no
2 and 3,
contest.
it's so. But your first one, that hurts
It's
your
not
legacy.
way worse than
No, it's not.
Right.
But it grew on me. The first Avengers
Yeah,
grew on me,
okay.
but it wasn't. But one to me wasn't one of the best.
But like I said, it's a cheat code when you got.
But
your
basically
your third
was a Civil
movie
War,
is
the
Avengers
Avengers.
2.5. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
But Winter Soldier was phenomenal.
Oh, no, for sure. That was the peak.
But Deadpool 1, 2, and 3, there's no misses. Like the 1, 2, and 3 are phenomenal. They're not bad. They're not one. Like I rewatch it regularly. I love Deadpool. So Deadpool Wolverine is my number one without doubt. That's me for movies.
I didn't want to be biased and pick that. I try to be.
I got you.
but inside, I'm not mad at that list. I'm not mad at that list.
I got you.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that list.
That I'm trying to think. Like there's a lot of movies this year, but there weren't many that I was like, yo, this. I was hoping for like a real big like, oh, this is gonna be a movie. I didn't see that. I'm not sure. I'm gonna see what they nominate for the Oscars, and I'm like, which one of these that I missed? Because it's probably some artsy movie that like something that Otto's probably watched that I didn't watch. So it's
because he be watching them European films.
I like some of them, but I can't get into all of them. Like he watches everything, which I mean I respect the shit out of like as a movie buff.
Now at the time of recording this, Craven is about to come out, and the early reviews are it's horrible. It's worse than Madam Web, according to.
So here's my thing. I was supposed to go see it.
Which Madam Web, I mean, not a disappointment because we didn't expect much from it, but it was a bad movie.
Me and Otto were supposed to go see it yesterday, and we just shit happened. We couldn't, literally, like we couldn't go see it, so it sucks. But from the trailer, it looks gory as shit. So you already have me sold.
Right.
The
first trailer
some
looked
badass action, gory, and then the dude who plays Kick-Ass, Aaron, I forget his full name, but Aaron is a fucking dreamboat.
Taylor
So it's like
Johnson? Aaron
it
Taylor
works out.
Johnson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it works out. I like the movies he does. I like the work he does. So as long as the script isn't terrible, it should be at least a decent film. It should be better. I hated Madam Web. I hated every moment of Madam Web. It was free on Netflix. I watched it.
What they're saying, yeah, same. I watched it. I watched it free. I didn't go.
One thing I did look up because when I was thinking about going to the movies, I looked at after the credits. There's no after credits. And that
because Sony doesn't know what to do. Sony don't know where to go with their movies.
But there was after credits for Venom.
Yeah, but there weren't none for Madam Web.
But my understanding is that like they're not gonna do the Sinister Six and all that. So all these movies kind of are meaningless.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
So it's kind of like frustrating. So even Craven's phenomenal. It's not gonna start a new thing.
Yeah.
But
because they're just making these movies just to keep the property.
Which is
they don't want to give it to Marvel completely, so they're just making it to fulfill their obligation of continues to make movies to hold on to the IP.
Which is fucking bullshit. But I'm hoping it's good. I'm hoping I can check it out soon.
And then next 2 weeks we got Mufasa.
Nobody cares.
And Sonic 3. I think they're dropping the same day.
The biggest fan of that right now is Benjamin, my little man. He's like, I got him Sonic pajamas. That, like, he has the outfit, so he looks like Sonic with the hood on. He's like, oh, we're gonna go, right? We're gonna go. I already got the tickets. He's like, yeah, we gotta go see it, right? So he's hyped for it. I actually like the Sonic films.
I do too. No, for sure. I'm in there.
And then Keanu Reeves' Shadow is dope. And then like when I watched the trailer and Knuckles is like, actually, I do want to fight him. I was like, I'm sold. So I'm definitely for that.
So Sonic. You want to go see Sonic? You're not going to see Mufasa?
I'm definitely not seeing Mufasa. I didn't like the Lion King remake or the reimagining.
We talked about that.
I didn't like that.
My issue with Mufasa is he's adopted.
Apparently.
So then Scar was right.
So he was justified to walk that rock.
You feel me? This was mine. This is my kingdom. You don't belong here. You can. So yeah, that kind of changes it. I mean, I'm gonna see it at some point. I don't know, but definitely going to see Sonic. Definitely going to see Sonic 3. I'm a fan of the
then
trilogy.
You got Nosferatu, which is supposed to be phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's getting great reviews and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see it, but it's on Christmas Day, so
Right.
I got kids. Like, I'm not gonna see it. I'm gonna probably see it in the New Year, the first week of the New Year.
Got you.
I was trying to see if I could see a Christmas Eve showing, but that shit's not being played. Like, so it's, you know, but you know, Nosferatu's the end of the year. That's supposed to be a big one. So kind of hype about
Anything else we missed that's coming soon?
Coming soon, yeah. But you know, we always do like the what we're expecting later on. So.
Yeah. But yeah, that's our list as far as the movies. Tell us your list. You know, what you feel, what we missed, what you don't agree with. You know, if you feel something to be higher, lower. What was your thoughts on Inside Out 2? We both had that on our top on our list,
and
high
Deadpool
on the
Wolverine,
list, and Deadpool Wolverine. You know what I'm saying? High on the list. So you know, share us your thoughts and let us know what you feel about it. You know what I'm saying? What we missed and where you don't agree at all. You know, tell us.